Elaine Clayton, and this is my intuitive stream drawing for June 3rd, 2020. And I did this psychic meditation on the George Floyd movement and the demonstrations and the overall outlook on where we go from here and what's at the core of this movement. This is an intuitive stream drawing. You can refer to Making Marks, Discover the Art of Intuitive Drawing. It's a meditation done with eyes closed using non-dominant hands, so I don't know what the image will look like while I'm making it. And then the intuitive process is gazing afterwards, and then making the visual connections after drawing. And so that's the meditation part. So let me just share with you what happened. I would say the overall theme of this drawing is the young people who are forming this great, powerful movement are not the voice of the future. They are the voice of now. We already crossed a threshold. That was pretty much ushered in as a new era that definitely started with the whole COVID thing as a spiritual awakening, but we really crossed a threshold. And let me just explain. We're looking at the world, human consciousness as a chakra chart. So like all of us collectively as one body. So a chakra chart is like crown to root as a person, as a human body. So this is like head, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, primal. And what I saw so clearly for me was a person, a young person, struck me as a child almost, and I'll tell you why. There was a dolphin here, which is symbolic of children, playful, beautiful symbol of the kind of hope and playfulness that dolphins are, that they symbolize, that is childlike playfulness. And this is right here with the head, which is in the heart of the overall body of the human consciousness, which means the youthful people who started this movement think with their heart. In other words, their head is at our heart. So we're moving from a people who come from our head mainly to a people who will act from the heart first. This should bring us into balance because for many generations, maybe centuries, we have really been more masculine in our approach. We've been really action-oriented, and we haven't really been very well balanced. We haven't been focused on emotional intelligence at all. If you were born 1960 or before, you would probably agree with me that nobody in school ever asked you, how do you feel about your math test? Nobody asked us how we felt at school, probably hardly at all. It was all focused on thinking. It wasn't, they didn't develop emotional intelligence at all, or intuitive. Empathic, emotional intelligence was pretty much ignored, and that caused a crisis over time. And the younger people have recognized that this is a crisis, and they absolutely won't tolerate it anymore. Their thinking is governed by the heart. So you'll see them act as we have, with real passion, with ideals. The dolphin stands for that. You remember when we were young, when we were children, we did have ideals. And they are coming from the heart, and they are thinking with their heart first. They want us to have empathy. They want the world to care. They just won't stand for it, for a world that doesn't care about police brutality or about protocol and the way the system is and all that. They want us to care. And at the throat of this young person is a figure 8, which for me is the infinity symbol. And it also really looks like, it looks like an hourglass. So the time has come. It's like divine timing. The fact that it's a figure 8, the infinity symbol for me means like soul purpose. The soul purpose is to use the voice to voice this this belief and this mission. The time has come to express this soul purpose, to speak from the heart this message. And it is a message. There's the wing, like Mercury's wing, there at the root. So at the root, a message has to be delivered, and they are delivering it. They're literally marching with the message. In their solar, where they need to feel safe and comfortable in their world, is a number 2. The number 2 kind of has a hook here at their heart. So the number 2 for me is mother-daughter-sister energy. And mother-daughter-sister energy really made me smile because, again, that's operating from an open, receptive, emotional place. When I was growing up, there were songs like The Dawning of the Age of Aquarius and all that. And we were shifting from a masculine orientation to a feminine one, and we are here. It's really a different world. The message is one of being open and receptive from the heart more than of, sort of warring and mental energy that is absent of emotion. So I feel like they're embodying messages about feminine, open, receptive, engaging in emotional development and living by their ideals. And I guess the main thing I'd like to say is there is no turning back. They're marching forward. All of the desires by the establishment to kind of say, oh, this will pass and we'll get them to, to quiet down and, we'll get control again and all that. That won't happen. They're young, so they have to figure it out, just like we all have to when we're young, and we will watch them just as we have this past week. Obviously, a lot of people that really weren't a part of the actual core of the movement, there were some things that happened like rioters, looters that really weren't a part of the core message, that they weren't able to pull the core message away. The tanks and the shock troops weren't able to pull the core message away, nor will any real big establishment be able to quell this message, because when you look at the world as one human family, look how much this is taken over now by the voice of the young. It's like the whole human body consciousness here is the young. From throat chakra down, we are embodied now by this youthful presence. So the momentum is here. That's why I started this by saying this is not a movement that is passing, and it's not the youth are, the youth are our future. No, the youth are now. This is a thing, and it's now. The threshold has been crossed, and we ought to help cultivate and watch them grow and help and support them. They are delivering something we really need to have: a world in balance and a harmonious world. We need to stop being just only of the thinking with our heads. We need to think with our hearts. Their message is right. So that is how I see it. And this is Intuitive Stream Drawing, Elaine Clayton. This is for June 3rd, ElaineClayton.com.